evening, traders from across the globe. Welcome to Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar's 653rd video, baby. Yeah. Traders, there are 652 other videos, a lot like the one you are about to see, full of technical analysis, tricks, and tips that I have learned over the last 28 years that I am more than happy to share with you. Traders, it will help you gauge the markets, gauge the charts, and become a better trader. So go look at those videos. Before you do, you must know this. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. Traders, substantial is just a small word compared to what you would really lose if you're not paying attention here. Substantial financial loss. Please do not trade the futures if you do not understand this game. But for you cowboys who do understand this game, baby, rock and roll, these markets are moving. This video is being filmed on Tuesday night for Trading Wednesday. That's November 10th, 2010. Good thing I put Novi on the board there. And traders, what I have to say to you is this. The S&P indeed had a 2-day pullback. The last video I did for you was 2 days ago, and I said, traders, step aside, expect a 2-day pullback in the S&P. And I expected it to pull back to a certain area, which we started getting into today. And I think I'm already starting to nibble at wanting to get long this thing. What happened? We had a 2-day pullback, and the S&P is testing previous yearly highs. That was set in May of this year. The market had ran up, put a high in May. The high was 1208. Put a high in May, turned around and broke down hard, and we've been rallying ever since. The whole rest of the year we've been rallying. And you know what, traders? We came up, got above 1208, turned around and came back down to it tonight, this evening, testing the 1208 area as we speak. Now, what I find interesting about that is when the NASDAQ first got up above its previous high set for 2010, it got up, it came down, it tested those highs and took off. The S&P now, because it's a follower, is in the very exact same spot. It got above previous highs and turned around for 1 day and is testing that right now. And I have some wonderful charts that are going to show that to you. So be ready to look at the chart segments. What is that? I love that. Yeah. It is the comment question segment of this video where you get to ask Oscar whatever questions you want. Traders, we love doing this segment, and I have a lot of fun with it because, first of all, I never know what's in the envelope or who it's from. And then when they hand me the envelope, they also hand me something to open it with, and you never know what it's going to be. Once it was a fan. So I don't know what I'm going to get, but first of all, hand me the envelope, please. All right. We have the envelope. It's got no name on it. Oh, it's a little thick today. I don't know exactly what do I get to open this pretty envelope with, my friend.
Invention ski pole.
A ski. Oh, my ski pole. Hey, check this. Before I open up the letter, check this ski pole out, traders. This is like from the 1920s. It's made out of wood and leather. And even the little round thing here at the end is hooked on 4 leather bands. Very cool. These came with the house that I purchased. A pair of them. Anyway, so I have a 110-year-old or a 90-year-old ski pole somewhere around there to open up the envelope with. This looks like it's going to be easy if I don't stab it in my eye. All right, so the unknown soldier in the envelope. Let's see what we got. And let's get in there. The drum roll, please. That was an easy one, Mikey. I was right in there. Woo-hoo. Ski pole. The letter has been chopped in half. I have half the letter in my hand, but hey, the ski pole worked really well. Can you retrieve the other half of that letter for me, please? Oh, thank you very much. And, oh, baby. All right, so this letter, and it's a letter in 2 parts. This letter in 2 parts comes to you from Martin from the Netherlands, another fan from the Netherlands. Hey, the last comment question we got was somebody from the Netherlands. Heads up to you guys. All right. So it says, and I quote, Oscar. Hi, Oscar. Do you still think natural gas is setting a bottom? Could it still be that huge global glut in natural gas that bothers the market? Thanks and love your videos. Martin from the Netherlands. Well, first off, Martin, thank you so much for the letter. Thank you so much for participating. We love getting the fan mail and the viewer mail, and we love to answer your questions. Martin from the Netherlands, what do I think about natural gas? Natural gas, I think, is absolutely putting in a bottom for the year. I think with the winter coming and the formation, the way it looks, the technical formation in the natural gas, and the fact that if the dollar is going to continue lower to finish off this year, natural gas has higher to go. In fact, natural gas is one of the only commodities left out there that is cheap. Natural gas is cheap. Gasoline is cheap. Crude oil is expensive, but cheap for its usual price. And traders, I don't know if anything's left. Cotton's gone. Sugar is gone. Coffee's gone crazy. Markets that you would have never have expected. Gold, silver, copper, platinum, palladium through the roof. Soybeans went up 56 cents today. Some of these markets are so high priced now you can't go near them, like the sugar market. There are a few that have not gone yet. Are you fund managers listening to me? Natural gas has not made the move yet. It's cheap. I have a chart. In fact, what I will do is I'll go to a chart right now for Martin in the Netherlands. Martin, let me show you a chart of natural gas. I'll come out, we'll speak a little further, and then we'll do a chart segment. So let's go look at the natural gas chart and answer your comment question. Okay, Martin from the Netherlands, here is your chart. This is the natural gas December daily bar chart. Martin, here is what I'm looking at. Huge, huge parallel channel, right, illustrated by the red lines. We came down out of that channel, put a swing day low and turned around, settled above the channel, and from that day we have been putting in bullish-looking signals with strong-looking indicators, and now it's starting to create its own little parallel trend on the way back up. Traders, if we went up here, we'd reach 500. That's still a big, big trade considering that we are in the 420s right now. And it looks like natural gas can easily get up here and test the 200 bar moving average in the 520s. So I like the natural gas. I think it very well may be bottoming for the winter. Technically, it looks good. It looks like minimum we're going to get up to is this. And that's plenty for a day trade in natural gas. That's a big trade in natural gas for a one-day trade. So yes, I still think natural gas is bottoming. I still think that we will move higher this winter. I like the pullbacks in natural gas. Martin, I hope this answers your question, and thank you so much for writing in. So, Martin, there's your chart. I hope that explanation helps you to understand what my viewpoint is in the natural gas. Winter coming, fundamental is there, technicals are there. You're inside that channel, moving towards the upper end of it. And traders, like I said, there's nothing else out there to buy. Natural gas is cheap compared to the rest of the commodities. So, yes, I think the natural is bottoming. All right, traders, now, back to the S&P. As I was saying, when the NASDAQ went through its previous highs in May, it came back down and tested, right? And then it went up from there. Traders, the S&P follows the NASDAQ. NASDAQ makes its moves first. S&P goes right behind it and mimics it. With no further ado, with that in mind, remember, what happens after the NASDAQ gets above its previous yearly highs that it set in May and tests? What happened next? With no further ado, let's go look at some charts so I can show that to you. Okay, traders, pay strict attention to this chart because it's very important what you are looking at right now. Okay, S&P daily bar chart, the December contract. The S&P has been in a strong parallel channel pointing north, and it looks like it wants to continue. Here's where it gets important. This line represents what was the previous high that was set in May. Then we broke down from it. We went sideways and started to rally up. Getting above the yearly high is absolutely a hurdle and an accomplishment if you can get above it. What the S&P did was it got above the high, spent 2 days up there, and came back down and tested that high and made it today's low right today on the close. It went up, up, down, and hit right there, which is equivalent to the previous highs. That is healthy for a market. that went up, made a plateau, went down for a while, came up, got above the plateau. If it comes down and tests that plateau, it's healthy. That's what the S&P is doing right now. And it's had a 2-day pullback in a bull market. I like buying 2-day pullbacks. But that's not the purpose of this chart. The purpose of this chart is to show you what happens next. So you see the S&P gets above the previous high, goes up a little, comes down and tests it. What do you think should happen next? Well, this next chart, the next series of charts should show this to you. Traders, this is the NASDAQ, the leader of the S&P. Same sort of very bullish parallel channel. The blue line now represents what was previous highs set in May, the yearly highs for the NASDAQ. When NASDAQ got above the highs, traders, look what it did. It went up, spent the day up, 1 day down, and kissed the previous high. What do you think happened next? Because this is exactly what the S&P looks like right now. Here's what the leader did after hitting that previous high. It hit it for 1 day and then spiked straight up to here, traders. It went up, above the yearly high, came down for 1 day, hit it, and then took off. The S&P is there at that very spot right now as we speak. Remember, this chart was before your eyes just a moment ago. The S&P is right there. It went up. It spent 1 day up. It had a long day down, testing previous highs. When NASDAQ did that very same test, it exploded. Today could very well be turnaround day Wednesday for the S&P. We had the 2-day pullback as expected. The dollar made a nice little bear flag. And now if the dollar heads down and the S&P heads up, it is the scenario that we were expecting. So take a look, traders, again, what the NASDAQ did after it got the previous highs, the S&P should do as it is a follower. Now, we are looking at the S&P on a monthly chart. Traders, this is a monthly chart of the S&P Emini. Each one of these green bars represents an entire week's worth of trading. I was saying monthly, it's a weekly chart. The weekly chart gets above the 200-bar moving average. It just got above last week and is now above again this week on the S&P. The next chart that I am about to show you, traders, is one of the best charts I've seen in the last 2 years. It is a weekly chart, and I think it is going to knock you over. Watch this chart right here. It should knock you over. This is the weekly NASDAQ. This is what the NASDAQ did when it got above its 200-bar moving average. But here's what's really important, traders. Everyone out there screaming, it's not a recovery. We're never going to go back where we came from. The stock market's never going to recover, right? You hear all this nonsense. Well, I want you to look at something, traders. This is a weekly NASDAQ chart. This was the high we were at before the 2007-2008 crash, traders. This was the all-time high. Then we had our big crash. Do you know where we are right now? We are here. Do you know where the all-time high is? Right there. 97% of this drop has been recovered already. Look at how close the NASDAQ is to actually getting back to the highs that we seen before the big crash. Traders, stare at that chart and think about that for a moment. Have you been paying attention the last few months? We have gone almost all the way back to where we were before the big crash, and still 2/3 of the people out there are screaming we are not in a recovery. Use your eyes. Look at what's before you. How could you deny what you're seeing here? That is a full-blown, full-fledged recovery in a market. I'm not saying that our economy is completely recovered. The market itself, the NASDAQ, 97% recovered from the big crash. I think everyone out there should start thinking buy the dips. Do your own homework. Pull your own charts. Burn this picture into your mind, traders. Look how close we are to previous highs. So, traders, you see those charts? What did you think of that NASDAQ weekly? Where have we all been when this thing's going all the way back to the 2007 highs? To be honest, traders, until last weekend, I didn't even catch that myself. I think what happened is, because we look at daily charts a lot, the chart's grown so long that those highs are off the chart. You don't see them on your screen a lot. So I kind of stopped paying attention to them. when I stepped back over the weekend to do my long-term analysis, I almost fell over when I seen that NASDAQ chart. I thought, where have we been? I mean, yeah, I've been bullish NASDAQ, but I didn't realize we got so close to taking out or testing the 2007 highs. Traders, that is a market in full-blown recovery. So for you bears out there, you perma bears that cannot see what's going on, I think the S&P just traded down to 1208 to test the May highs and will take off. I think the S&P just had 2 days down in a bull market and should take off. I think that the S&P and the dollar can go up together. So I'm not so worried that the dollar may go up too. They'll go up together, I think. So we're not jumping right in and buying S&P tomorrow. We are watching that 1208, 1206 area. If that holds by Thursday, we'll be getting long this thing again, looking for the Friday run up. So watch the site tomorrow, traders. Watch all day. We have a green Omni and a natural gas. We expect the natural to pop a little bit. Make sure you're at my site. It's www.livewithoscar.com. And don't trade alone, OmniX. Come to my site, jump into my trading room, and hang out with me and the other OmniX in the chat trading rooms where we help one another get through the markets, get through each rough and tumble day. And let me tell you something. If you think you can figure all of this stuff out sitting by yourself in your living room, bathroom, bedroom, office, wherever you trade from, if you think you can figure out all the news coming in, all the quotes coming in, what the charts mean, and what you should do without help, you're killing yourself. It doesn't work that way. Come on down and ask for help. We are here to help you, traders. All right, what else do we got? Traders who are coming out to OmniCamp, thank you so much for your applications. All you guys that are coming out to OmniCamp. OmniCamp is a 4-day training session live with me here in Vegas. Make sure that you book your airplane tickets, traders. Make sure that you get here on Thursday night because we start Friday morning very early. You know, I'm talking to you 5 guys that qualified that are coming out to Vegas. Book your tickets. Get here Thursday night. Get a good night's rest. I'm going to work you guys to death starting Friday. Make sure you're here. Make sure you're on time. All right, so, traders, I'm going to get out of here. I want to go see these markets. Give me a call anytime, Darren, 702-629-4755. And if you'd like to have a brokerage account directly with me as your advisor, as your broker, as your analyst, come on down to my site and open up an account. You simply click the link to open a trading account with Oscar and fill out the forms electronically. Once you do that, you and I are connected on the phone whenever you need me. All right, traders, I'll see you at the site. I'll give you a flash update when I think it's time to react. Keep your eye on the natural. Keep your eye on the dip in the indices. Watch that U.S. dollar. All right, traders, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stop soaring! Emotions are out! Always remember, futures trading is risky and can absolutely result in substantial financial loss. Traders, trading futures is not for everybody. It's not suitable for every trading account. And as always, past performance is not indicative of future results.